A high-stakes diplomatic meeting will take place in Washington, where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet U.S. President Donald Trump. Zelensky will press for advanced weaponry, including Tomahawk missiles, while Trump confirmed plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Hungary in just 2 weeks. The question now, is the world heading towards meaningful negotiations or simply stalling the next phase of war? Joining us from Moscow is Mr. Sergei Markov, former advisor to President Vladimir Putin. Mr. Markov, welcome to Q News, and let me start by asking you, what is your assessment of the recent Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian targets, including in Crimea and deep inside Russia?
It's a normal situation of war. We know that this war is a modern war of drones, first of all, and we see development of these drones attacks. First of all, on the front line, now the number of drones, something like 3 or 4 or 5 more than number of soldiers. And also long-distance drones attacked more and more target on the territory of the sites which is in situation of war with each other. So it's normal. And also anti-rocket and anti-drone system is developing in both countries. It's good for Russia that Russia is more strong than Ukraine. And of course, because in Ukraine there are no democracy and neocolonial dictatorship, there are no chance that Ukrainians can say something against such drone attack. But we suppose that because of Russian drones attack and rocket missiles attack, possibly this winter it could be blackout on the north of the Ukraine. It's such cities as Kiev, capital, and Kharkov, former capital of Ukraine, and Poltava, Chernihiv, and Sumy. And I think how to prevent this blackout of the north of Ukraine, it is one of the key points for negotiation between Trump and Putin and Zelensky and Trump.
And, sir, what impact have the reported Russian casualties had on military and political decision-making inside Russia?
Of course, people are very much concerned about increasing number of losses, but in Russia, Ukraine is regarded as neo-colonial territory, which have been occupied by enemies of Russia, such as Great Britain, France, Germany, and another Britain and another European countries. And Russians see these losses as inevitable price for the stopping much more higher threat, which can be if Western countries will continue militarization and creating more strong anti-Russia on the place of Ukraine. I should remember that Ukraine was part of the Russia during 1000 years, and Kiev was capital of Russia during 3 centuries.
Okay.
So it's Russia.
Yes. Turning to the diplomatic front, sir, how do you view President Donald Trump's meeting with Zelensky, particularly concerning U.S. arms transfers?
I see a meeting of Donald Trump and Vladimir Zelensky, first of all, as accurate steps of Donald Trump to distance himself from Ukrainian crisis. Donald Trump approach to Ukrainian crisis, not to Ukraine, but to Ukrainian war, it's approach of the real estate businessman who, for example, constructed some hotel, but this hotel not used by a lot of people. So it's not profitable. So that's why first Donald Trump stopped to spend money to the Ukrainian war. And now, after he will understand that no chance to get a peace deal between Russia on the one hand and Europe and Ukrainian repressive regime on another hand, he will distance America from those Ukrainian war step by step. Accurately, but step by step, he will do.
And do you expect from the upcoming summit between President Trump and President Putin in Hungary any outcomes in particular?
I don't expect a big breakthrough because, in fact, who is enemies of Russia? It's not only Ukrainian regime, but it's first of all European Union and Great Britain and partly United States. And those sides of the war, European Union, Great Britain, and European and Ukrainian regime, even those doesn't want to discuss the reason of this war. And this reason is that Western countries impose neo-colonial repressive regime and doing from former Russia, which is Ukraine, been 1,000 years, anti-Russia by methods of terror. Russian demands stop terror, liberate all political prisoners, stop terror against Orthodox Church, stop ultra-militarization of Ukrainian regime. And European side even doesn't want to discuss this issue and fully ignore this existing problem.
Mr. Markov, could this summit mark the beginning of a new multipolar strategy for Washington, one that balances between Kiev and Moscow?
I don't think that Washington will be balanced between Moscow and Kiev. First of all, because Kiev not independent. Kiev it's a new colony of Europe right now. And Washington is, and United States of America is ultra superpower. They will be not play dancing between different countries. No, I think Donald Trump will move to the United States to the Pacific Ocean, to the more competition with China, more alliance possibly with India, and he will try to distance himself from the losing Ukrainian war.
So is Putin's engagement and talks a genuine pursuit of peace or a strategic move to delay U.S. military support to Ukraine?
Russia wants peace in Ukraine very much because we are Russians. Frankly speaking, I already told them we regard Ukraine as part of the Russia, which occasionally appear to be independent, but then it has been captured, occupied by Western countries, who is making anti-Russia on the territory of Ukraine by methods of terror. And that's why for us it's civil war. That's why every Russian soldier, it's our soldier. But every Ukrainian soldier, it's also our soldier. We want to stop it as soon as possible. But Europeans want to continue to kill Russian soldiers. It's the reality.
Okay. How are Western commitments to Ukraine influencing Russian strategic calculations at this stage?
Can you repeat? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. I was asking you how are Western commitments to Ukraine, particularly, of course, military, influence Russian strategic calculations at this stage?
Of course, now Ukrainian crisis is the main crisis for Russia. It's an existential threat to Russia because, as we understand, first of all, Americans and Great Britain, but now Europeans and British, they want to make relation between Russia and Ukraine, who is brothers. They want to make relation between India and Pakistan, and between Israelis and Palestinians. This is could be a war for decades, and Russia wants to stop this plan of devil, which have been created by London, European capitals, and Washington with former President Biden.
In your opinion, how might this interplay of military confrontation and diplomacy evolve in the near future?
It's difficult to predict because we could see that chaotic characteristic of the modern world, everything unexpected. Not so many people expected that Russia will send its troop to Ukraine, Same time, we don't expect that Europe will move from democracy to the violation of democratic principle, as it's happened in Moldavia, Romania, and another country in France, where leading politician Le Pen is arrested. And we didn't expect that Europe can support such ultra undemocratic, ultra illegal and repressive regime as Ukraine. So it's difficult to predict. But more realistically to see that Europe will continue its movement to the more undemocratic authoritarian regimes. And as such, it will be more interesting to have conflict outside. To say more clear, President of France Macron, interesting to have war against Russia for arresting of Le Pen. Leader of European Commission, interesting to have war in Ukraine for the abolishing of Prime Minister of Hungary, Orban. German leaders interesting to continue war in Ukraine because they need to prohibit leading opposition party alternative for Germany. That's why they will continue this war.
Yes. Well, that was Mr. Sergei Markov, former advisor to President Vladimir Putin. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of In Focus, which always unveils the complexities of our changing world. I'm Hannah Al-Hamalawi. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates here on Q News.